Hey there, how you doing?
What up?
Matt here, Junior, playing some Turtles in Time on the Super Nintendo Classic.
You already know.
So I legally own it, even though it didn't come on the Super Nintendo Classic. We're not going to get into that, whatever.
Oh Lord, I'm just thinking like now because we're talking about the '90s sitcom intro thing or whatever. Like we're not committing any crimes, but in your intro, you're committing a crime. And you're like caught.
I'm just caught red-handed, like
I love Donnie, so I'm gonna go with Donnie. He's my favorite turtle.
Yeah. I like the color blue. Although I love Donnie, he's my favorite, so I'll just take blue.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So Leonardo leads. So let's just go that way.
Yeah. I forgot to turn on that setting. It changes it from animation to comic color. So you can like it's a drastic difference, man. It's crazy.
Let me okay, so jump. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I haven't played this in a very long time.
Yep. I play this regularly. I started playing it more in the arcade.
The arcade one, I like to do that sometime too,
As of
because
late.
that looks fun. However, that's so small over there. I feel like a giant.
Yeah, it's true. I feel the same way. I'd say like very few people have played it with me when they come over, but I'm okay with that because it's tiny. They may not, remember how to play and stuff, but
I'm glad this game only has like two buttons, really, like jump and then
jump, hit, and I really don't know what the other ones are.
You know what I really?
It's Y and B. That's
I
it.
never learned how to throw the foot soldiers. I know we got a boss coming up eventually, the Shredder.
Yeah.
Where you got to throw them at the screen.
Yeah.
That's a boss I always struggle with.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pain. Like when you're throwing him towards the screen.
The screen, I'm like, oh shit. You want that? We're both alive here.
Yeah,
Take
I don't
time.
care. Yeah,
Fuck
it doesn't matter. Hit it.
Take it, bitches. But
so like years ago, what was like you had a Super Nintendo, right?
I never had a Super Nintendo. I was always a Sega Genesis kid. However, I had friends who had Sega Super Nintendos, so I used to always play with them. And I had an uncle growing up who was big into gaming. Yeah. And I kind of thank him a little bit for like for kind of getting me into gaming. Really, I know like when I first moved to America here. Yeah. I came here as a wee lad, 3 years old, from Brazil. Oh. My dad.
I didn't know. I knew you were Brazilian. I didn't know you were born there.
You've
been living downstairs from me for months, and I didn't know this shit. That's crazy.
So my dad owned an NES. He had Duck Hunt and Super Mario, obviously.
Wasn't it called something else in Brazil?
No. He bought it here. Like
in certain countries, they had to rename it or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
I don't know, to be honest, because at least in Brazil, like from what I remember, they would just it's like my mom. Everything is Nintendo, right? But like I feel like it's, my dad owned an NES, and that was like my first gaming system. But that wasn't something I never really got into until the Genesis came out. For some reason, I fell in love with Sonic the Hedgehog, and that was really when I really got into gaming more. And then,
is that because he was faster than Mario?
It's not even that. I liked his aesthetic more for some reason. I can't really explain it, but something about Sonic just like drew me to him. And I was always not anti-Nintendo, but I didn't really get into like Nintendo really until the Super NES, when my aunt started dating the guy who would eventually become my uncle, right? And wow, we're already at the bus. Yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah.
And he's a fly.
He's a fly.
I meant to do that.
So he had all these fucking games, know, and this was one of the games. And he used to always play this with us, and I'm like, man, this guy's kind of cool. He's got all this cool game. And we just like, essentially bonded over video games, and like he became one of my favorite uncles because I felt like he sort of connected with my, with me and my brother and stuff like that. And,
your brother's younger than you?
My brother's younger than me, yeah, and my brother loves the Turtles as well. Turtles in Time is one of his favorite games. He bought a Retron 5 a few years ago. Yeah. And this was one of the gifts that I gave him because we never had an SNES, but like we've always wanted to own this. Yeah. So when he got that, cool. Like when you're older, it's like when you get older, you buy the stuff you couldn't really get as a kid, right?
Oh hell yeah!
When I was a kid, my parents weren't buying like both things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, if you had a Nintendo, it was just as good as the Super.
Yeah, like we didn't have bread like that, so it was one or the other. And I was a big Sega fan, so to me it was like, all right, fuck it, like give me that Genesis or whatever. But that's the thing about being an adult now; you can do that stuff. And I bought him this. I got a Mega Man X as well.
Nice.
And, every now and then we go back and we just play these. But then I got the SNES Classic myself. Hacked it. I'm telling you, buddy. And here we are. So
my sister dated a guy And when I met him, he was like, "Oh, do you like video games?" Like, it's one of the first things he spoke about. I was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
He's like, "Oh, cool, check this out." And he whips out Batman Returns for Super Nintendo.
Gotcha, yep. Remember that.
Like, out of his coat. I was like, huh? I'm guessing my sister, like, planted that seed.
You've
like,
seen this before?
Yeah. I don't know, mister. You know?
I don't know, mister.
Follow me to this white van. No, but, like, she brought the dude home, and I knew she was dating him for a while, and, yeah, the first time I met him, he had Batman Returns with him, and I was like, holy cow, that's cool. I had never played it, but like I loved the movie and everything.
Batman Returns was actually the first Batman movie I ever saw.
The original Batman was the first movie I ever saw. Yeah.
That's one of my few. Actually, no, the first TMNT movie was my first movie experience that I remember.
Yeah.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be that wrong, but Batman Returns was the first Batman movie I ever watched.
That's a good one.
And it was a good one. Danny DeVito was.
I like it more than the original. I love Jack.
The original.
I love Jack Nicholson and the Prince soundtrack. I mean, come on.
Yeah, the Prince soundtrack is dope.
Banger after banger. I mean, let's be real.
It is a banger after banger. You are right.
But I don't know what it was about part 2. Danny DeVito's portrayal, I don't know.
I mean, him eating the fish thing.
Yeah, man. Like, it creeped me out so much. I was like,
his hands,
it's so cool. Yeah, like how his hand looked, the practical, the practical.
What was it, like this or some shit? I don't know if I can know.
Yeah, it was like, it was 3. It was 3, yeah.
My homeboy looked like a TMNT. He had TMNT hands.
Dude. It was,
so there you go. A little tie-in.
I wonder if it was like the same,
makeup
costume designer, makeup guy, or something like that. Yeah.
You know what I've always wanted is to buy one of the latex suits from the movies.
Yeah.
Because I always thought they looked so cool. Except in TMNT 3. I hated that look for them with the freckles and shit.
Did you know what the sub name for that movie was? Like the working title?
What, bad TMNT movie? Because
don't watch this film. It was actually called Turtles in Time.
Was it really?
Because they time travel.
They did time travel, yes, with the little lamps.
It was called. I don't know if that was like the internal name or whatever, but it was called Turtles in Time. No, you can get it. Go ahead. Yeah, I don't care about that. That's fine.
Fuckers.
Yeah. So when did you move here from Brazil? Seriously, dude, I had no idea.
No, it's all good. I'm happy to go into my.
I had no idea you were freaking Brazilian. I knew you were Brazilian. I didn't know you were born there.
Yeah. So I was born in Brazil. I moved here when I was 3.
Yeah.
We originally first lived in Florida for like a few months, and then we moved up to Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and that's how I got my Massachusetts roots. We lived there until about 1990. My brother was born in '89, and my parents moved to Boston. I think presumably, probably because there was more opportunities, but we also knew a ton of people that lived there too.
Yeah, that always helps, man.
Yeah, totally. And there was, when we were in Cape Cod, it was extremely lonely. I didn't have any friends as a kid. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it was I remember those being very lonely years for me.
The dark ages.
The dark ages, yes. But then we moved to Boston, and then started going to kindergarten, blah blah, made friends, and here I am now. But yeah, I'm a Boston boy, and then now here I am in the Big Apple, 3 a.m.
3 a.m. It's actually like 6:30.
Big Apple,
6:30.
6:33 p.m.
It doesn't roll off the tongue the same way. And I know we spoke a couple times.
You get a cowabunga here?
You were from Cowabunga. You lived in Hawaii for a bit.
Oh yeah.
How long?
Just getting some water, some hydration here on.
Some high quality H2O.
Some H2O Samsung water. So I lived in Hawaii for about 3 years, roughly, and that was a fun time. I enjoyed my time there. It was also, I don't want to call it dark ages, but it was very hard too because you're technically 6 hours behind everybody on the East Coast, and it makes it hard to call. You keep track with your family. And I'm a big family guy. I know there are some people who aren't close to their families or whatever. For me, as a Latino, at least for me, like I'm very close to my family, my mom, my brother especially, my dad and everything.
Yeah.
So it was hard, you get out of work, and by the time you get home to call, it's like already midnight. They're already asleep. So it was a hard 3 years, but it was fun. It was a good time.
These are tough.
I'm not paying attention here.
I know. No, you could stop talking. I won't get mad.
And
you can stop whenever.
No, we're good. I always have to avoid these things.
These are tough. And then
I used to hit them on purpose as a kid, though, because I used to love the little animation there with my foot, or my toe, whatever it was. These little alien things.
Yeah, the pizza. I think they're called pizza monsters.
Are they called?
It shows it at the end. If I remember correctly, they're called pizza monsters, which is interesting because they don't resemble pizza at all.
They don't.
If they did, I would hate pizza, and pizza's probably my favorite fruit.
Fruit. Well, I mean, tomatoes are a fruit, so technically it is a fruit salad in a way. Baked fruit
I eat it like people. Yeah, see, look, Foot Soldier, pizza monster. Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow,
you're learning little tidbits about the game today.
Made a real pizza monster.
That's how much I freaking play this game. What's like the video game scene like out in Hawaii? You know, like, do they have GameStops and Best Buys and shit?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's really you're just like your other. They still have Blockbusters out there.
I talk about it. There's another funny story. I was with a few of my friends in Brooklyn, and we went to this huge thrift store. Mm-hmm. And I asked one of the people who were there, this woman, she was like stocking the shelves or whatever. And I walked up and I was like, "Excuse me, where do you guys get all this stuff from?" She straight up looks me in the eye and goes, "This is a store." And that was her answer. So upon asking you this question of like, are there GameStops there? Do they have Best Buys? Do they drink water? Like, it's not like I think of them as like some alien thing. I've never been outside the continental U.S., so I don't know what it's like in a place like that. And I know they have like a relationship with you know.
It's been at least 4 years since I've been there. Mm-hmm. However, 85% of the island is like Japanese owned. So Japanese culture is heavy in Japan. So it's pretty cool.
In Hawaii.
I would say the video game scene there is pretty dope. When I lived there, my coworkers were heavy into competitive Street Fighter playing. One of them, I don't know if he still plays competitively anymore, but his name is Dagger G. He's got videos on YouTube. He's gone to these, what's it called, Evo or whatever the hell it was, or whatever the fuck the competition is out there. He was really good at Street Fighter, and he would hold monthly tournaments at this place there.
We gotta get him in NYCGS. Get him to hold these tournaments that Astley wants.
He's there was a club, I forget the name of the club now. I think it was like Night something or whatever it was. But
Bullet Club.
But Bullet Club for life. And he used to host like monthly Street Fighter. I think it was 4 at the time that was out. Tournaments, and it was fun as hell. Like it was a great scene out there for that kind of stuff. And they have Kawaii-Con, which is the biggest like anime/video game convention there.
That sounds cool.
And like I used to work across the street from the convention center that used to hold this, and like so we get a lot of interesting people coming into the store, and in cool costumes, and like sometimes you'd attend the events, and it was really cool. I'm not big into anime or anything like that, but to me like it was I just like the whole atmosphere of conventions in general, and seeing people in costumes, and stuff like that. So, I had a great time like with that stuff, and I just try to get involved. Like the first thing I did when I moved there was when I moved to New York City was try to find a group of gamers and stuff like that. That's how I came across the group back in 2000, whatever. I know it was like a few months after the group was founded. I joined straight up.
I don't know if you knew anyone already.
No, I didn't. Okay. I just happened to come across it.
It was probably at the time where like I opened it up, because for a while I did leave it private, and I was like, all right, let's open up, meet some new people. We're not like on our own island here. So. Yeah,
I legit did a quick search on Facebook for like New York City gamers, and it was like the first thing that came.
Wow, all right.
And I was like, oh, sweet, let me join this, see what it's all about.
That's cool.
And that's how I came across this. And that's sort of what I did in Hawaii, too. Yeah. But so happened that I had coworkers.
We need a satellite versions of NYCGS like in other countries and shit. That would be cool.
Honolulu Gamer Society. That's how I came, but mostly because I had the coworker, but then also because I was kind of seeking it out. And they got a great retro scene there too. There was a great place in.
I bet if they were able to get like imports from Japan.
Yeah, like I'm telling
that'd
you,
be cool, man. I would love that.
A lot of the Japanese, Korean areas or whatever would have a lot of gems and stuff like that. And there was this place in Pearl City, which it sounds familiar. Well, Pearl City, Pearl Harbor is in Pearl City.
There you go.
That's that, and they had a really cool retro store there. Fuck, I forget the name of the places now. Excuse me, I'm saying fuck here.
It's all good.
But sorry, I'm not paying attention. I'm sucking it up right now. I need to get good. But yeah, they had some great stores there, and they had a cool. Every now and then they would have like an MMO RPG night, and like this is back when I was playing World of Warcraft as well. Regularly. And I met some cool people there as well in that scene. So there's definitely a scene out there, and I feel like I feel like they would have benefited if they had a group like ours too, though. I mean, they probably did. I just could never find it.
Yeah.
But I never really needed to 100% because I had the coworker. So, and he would sort of keep me in the loop with those kind of things. And whenever he was doing something that involved gaming, he would always like, hey, do you want to?
That's cool.
Do you want to come through? And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, I do, because I don't really have friends out here like that.
Yeah.
So it was just me and my girlfriend. So that was it.
So when I moved, I grew up in Queens, and when I moved to the Bronx, I was so depressed. I, moved, left all my friends behind, and that shit sucked. Like being uprooted and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's
even if you're in the same city, it's still hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because it's like, oh yeah, I'll travel to come see you. And it's like, your parents will never bring you or whatever the case.
Yeah.
So I was homebound for like 3 months. I didn't do anything. Like, I just stayed home. I played video games. I was miserable, and one day I go out and I'm rolling around the neighborhood on my bike, actually, and I run into a bunch of kids that are like, playing in the street or whatever. I think it was like 11 or 12 years old at the time. Yeah. And I run into someone. His name is Matt also. We're still friends. And we hit it off. We both, rode bikes, skateboard, all that shit you do when you're kids, and played video games and stuff. And I would go to his house at like 8 a.m. to wake him up, or like it was his dad's place, which was a few blocks from me. I would go there and wake him up at like 8, 9 in the morning to play games and go skating and stuff like that. So he was my first friend when I moved to the Bronx, and having those people to connect with and stuff, man, it's life saving.
When I was a kid, I was fortunate
Makes you go crazy.
That I had. My best friend when I was younger. I mean, we're still friends today. We're not like best friends anymore like we used to be. But like his dad, like I could always spend the night over there, and his dad would drive him to our. He lived in East Boston, which is a little bit farther than where I grew up in Boston. But still, like we used to always have like sleepovers and like gaming nights and stuff like that. We used to do like little.
I carried us, by the way.
You totally did. I probably got like 2 foot soldiers on his ass, and that's it. We would do all sorts of shit, like, ton of gaming. We loved RPGs. I'd love to watch him play RPGs and stuff like that, but like, we'd also play together as well. We used to like write our own RPGs and shit like that. Like, we're gonna get this made one day, right? Like, because everyone wanted to be like a game developer, right?
That's cool.
A little more hydration here. Don't mind me. But
I'll see you to that.
Cheers. Oh god, I hate this boss.
Me too.
It's worse than the shredder. But yeah, and I've always had like gamer friends, right? It's just something I've always just. I don't want to say cliche, because I feel like everybody plays video games at one point in their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like everybody plays video games.
Since they've been
even people that like don't like video games. Yeah. Oh, is that Mario or something?
That's that Pac-Man game.
Yeah. At least once they've done something, right? Yeah. Like, or someone's played video games. But it's cool to meet people who share the same passion that you do. And enthusiasm for it. Yeah. It's like how I feel about wrestling. Like, I mean, for the longest time when I was here, I was just going to wrestling shows for myself. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I can't tell you how many fucking terrible Monday Night Raws at the Barclays Center I've been to by myself, 3 hours, just toughing it out. And like, you don't really meet. You can meet some people sometimes. Like, people are friendly, but like, it's not like you don't develop these friendships. So.
Yeah. Wrestling fans are interesting.
They're an interesting breed for sure. I fucking hate these foot soldiers.
You gotta walk away from them.
Yeah.
Tempt them.
Forbidden fruit over here.
Forbidden portal.
But yeah, so these beat 'em up games are some of my favorites. I'm mostly an RPG/fighting game guy, but these beat 'em ups,
what the hell?
Side scrollers.
I very recently got into RPGs, and not like hardcore either.
I don't know how I got into RPGs exactly. I can't really pinpoint exactly when it happened.
Yeah.
But the first RPG I remember playing was Shining Force, and that was the game that really got me into it. Because it's not your traditional RPG; it's like tactical. You gotta. It's almost like playing chess in a way. Rock soldiers.
You said it's almost like playing chess. I don't think I've ever.
Chess or checkers in a way, like because you got to move at least in Shining Force. Depending, like, I mean, the battles aren't extremely hard, right? But if you put like the wrong player in a certain spot or whatever, like your healer's too far away to heal people, you can kind of bone yourself a little bit.
I get what you're saying, yeah.
So to me, it was always about like I don't know. I always felt Yeah, I mean, of course I'll continue. Do I have infinite continues here? I hope so.
Hadori. I think so. I mean, it's the Super Nintendo version, so I don't know. I can't remember. I'm used to the arcade now. The arcade really spoiled me.
Yeah. Oh, this fucking guy.
Yeah, almost
there. But I don't know. I just got into him, and then I give it a lot of trash because a lot of hate now. But when Final Fantasy VII first came out, I'll give it its props. Right, it did its thing for RPGs, like putting them sort of back on the map a little bit. But that sort of rekindled my love for them.
7 specifically brought you back?
7 specifically kind of brought me back because there wasn't, for Saturn at least, there was, like, I had a Sega Saturn, but the RPG selection of Sega Saturn, admittedly, was pretty slim. I'm getting murdered here, dude. I'm dead weight right now.
I'm trying to get these, oh, nice. I'm trying to get another extra, I'm trying to get an extra man, an extra one.
Yeah. So, like, when 7 came out, and then I feel like once 7 came out, I feel like Sega Saturn was like, oh shit, we got to release some RPGs up in here, and that got us, Shining the Holy Ark, Shining Wisdom, Shining Force 3 came out too, and I was like, oh shit, and then I feel like 7 was responsible for that, even if it was like not even on that same system, because I feel like it made RPGs relevant again somewhat,
big time, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it was 4 discs.
3. 7 was 3 discs.
7 was 3?
Yeah.
There was a game I didn't know that was 4 discs.
It might.
So I never owned 7. My buddy, his name was Dave.
I never owned it either.
He had it. I always thought it was 4 discs.
I had a PlayStation, but I never owned it.
Now, if I get it on the Switch.
Yeah.
Because it's available.
And
fucking hate it. I feel so dumb saying it was 4 discs.
There was a 4-disc RPG though. I'm trying to think of which one it was, and it might have been Xenogears.
Oh my god, dude! How am I doing this?
It might have been Xenogears.
You see this?
Yeah, you're kicking his ass right now.
You see this, dude? I've never been able to man. See? Yeah, okay. And then zoom down on him.
That's what I'm thinking right now is what we're doing. I mean, that's how I've always approached him. Is like when he jumps.
I don't think I can't tell if he's okay. He's not blocking every time. All right, cool. Nice.
I don't know how much damage we're actually doing this guy, but we're trying.
Yeah, I feel like he takes significantly longer than the other guys.
He's got that crazy health bar. Yeah.
There we go. That's the kill shot. That's the kill shot.
But yeah, something about RPGs to me was just always cool, like building up your characters and leveling them up and getting new abilities, and then Final Fantasy Tactics.
I hated that grind, man. Oh yeah, I know you're a huge fan of
Listen, man, I can't talk enough about that game because that game to me is.
Damn, we both got it. Damn,
yeah, I got wrecked, my dude. I still want Donnie.
Shit.
And fuck this guy.
Oh my god.
He does mad damage to you as well, dude.
That friggin' move. There you go. Corner, you got him.
And then Tactics came out. And that job system, to me,
that
was everything.
Maybe now that, because back then that was on the GBA. I don't know if it was released for anything else after that. Maybe like the PSP or something.
I think PSP. They did like a PSP version. They had a Dark Knight and
like a package
Onion Knight to it
or something.
But that to me was like the precursor for me getting into MMOs. I feel was like the whole leveling up a certain job or something like that. Yeah. And then I don't know, something about Tactics to me was just always awesome. I can't really describe my love for that game. It's a really amazing game.
Now that modded Game Boys are a thing,
I
feel like I'm more inclined to play it now with an actual backlit screen and all that. You know
feel like that game needs to be remade. They're remaking all these other, not even remade, just like re-release it on a Switch. Yeah. I'd play that forever, dude. I mean, I invested so many hours in Final Fantasy VII Tactics, dude, that I'm talking about, you name it, I've tried it in that game. Like the challenge mode where you just play the main character, no other jobs. Like it's hard.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like there's just so many ways to play it, and you could also unlock the hidden characters. Like Cloud is in it from 7, and so is
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Well, I mean, if you haven't played it in 20 years, yeah. I'm sorry, go fuck yourselves. I'm sorry. Play it; it's an amazing game. It's one of the few Final Fantasy I feel like is a very overrated series, but that game in general is pretty fucking amazing. It's very well done. It's got a the villain is very well written. It's just it's none of this my problem with JRPGs, Matt, is this. it is. I feel like the story is almost always the same. It's like fantasy friends. We can do it if we set our mind to it. You just have to believe type bullshit. This to me was different because like it was so dark. It was like government. Politics bullshit, like it felt real, right?
Yeah. More grown up,
up in a way, yeah. And I'm not like I wasn't a grown ass dude playing this game either. I was like a teenager or whatever, right? But it was still really freaking a politician. Good. It's not even that though. It's just like it's just dark, right? Like I didn't feel like the game was insulting my intelligence almost. You know what I mean? Like I always wonder with Final Fantasy VII, like, and we're playing Turtles here, but I mean, why do you motherfucker just use this Phoenix Down? To revive Ares. I don't know, I thought it was a little bit... I understand characters die or whatever, and maybe that's a bad... I'm sucking it up right now. Look at me, I'm pathetic. Don't judge me, folks, here. I haven't played this in years.
And we're trying to have conversations at the same time.
And but you're like killing it though. Look at you, 428 kills.
I haven't gotten a single
you're
like
Kenny Omega right now. I feel like I'm like Toru Yano right now, my dude. You know what I mean? So I'm one of those jobbers right now. But
you're a young lion.
I'm a young lion, my dude. Look at that, 42 kills. I had more than that, but yeah.
Yeah. I should go back and count it all up.
Yeah.
And give you credit.
Yeah, whatever. What was I talking about? I don't remember anymore. But, yeah.
I talking about your tactics specifically.
Got me into, like, MMOs, which is, like, my current favorite genre, even though to me it's, like, a dead genre now at this point, in a way.
Really?
I think it's kind of, it's not what it used to be anymore. I mean, you know
like
what I'm
the
saying?
new Dragon Quest and shit like that? Like, not
is Dragon Quest an MMO? I mean, I know they have...
Oh, MMO. Okay, I thought we were still talking about RPGs and stuff.
No. RPGs are still alive and kicking.
Gotcha,
right?
Okay. Yeah, my bad. I misunderstood.
Persona 5, which I just recently bought at a GameStop for $20. What a deal. That was a steal.
Love those deals.
And, the Switch. The Switch has also just been a great system for me, too. Like, I mean, I've been strictly a PC gamer I've owned every console, with the exception of the Xboxes. I've always owned every PlayStation or whatever. But I got a PlayStation 4, and I'm not gonna lie to you, if I did maybe 20 hours of gaming total on that PS4 since I've owned it, that's a lot. With the exception of now with the Persona or whatever.
Well, before Persona and like the 20 hours or whatever you say, or less.
It was like...
What have you played on there?
It was like NBA. It was like I got NBA 2K with it. It came with the PlayStation when it was gifted to me. So it's essentially become my glorified Blu-ray player. However,
there we go. I finally died. 452.
Look at this. Wow.
There you go. I'm going to go for some Mikey.
So, the Switch, though, like reinvigorated my interest in consoles because I was strictly PC for a while.
And I've always been the opposite. I can never get into like PCs, like building them or anything, or even like I haven't really.
It's an expensive hobby.
Owned one in a long time. It's expensive, and then like for my job, like I deal with a lot of computer issues and stuff like that at work. I come home, I don't want to deal with it. I want to sit down and turn on the console and just play it. You know, as
that's how I'm feeling right now too, right?
As like, pleb as that may sound.
The games I play are most on PC are strictly MMOs for the most part nowadays. And like the MMO that I played the most, Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
It was 11. 11 is still my favorite Final Fantasy. I want to throw that out there.
Same time.
Wow, that's badass. Cowabunga.
That's cool. That's a major cowabunga.
14 came out. And I've been playing that for a very long time, and World of Warcraft and all that. But I'm going to give this next wave of consoles a whirl. Because I feel like the Switch has reinvigorated it. And I'm like, with games like Breath of the Wild, which I love that game very much. And it's a nice library of games in general that I want to play. And I'm hoping that the next wave of consoles will... I'm even going to get a fucking Xbox.
That thing looks cool as hell.
It looks cool. I like it. I like the aesthetics of it. People are giving it a hard time. It looks like a fucking building or something. But I think it looks kind of cool, actually.
Memes, man.
The memes are great. But what's the PS5 going to look like, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, so I don't know. Like, I'm going to give them all
I don't
the world.
care.
I'm just going to give them a chance.
Seriously don't care what any of them look like.
Yeah, I mean, that shit's... Okay, people making fun of the PS5 logo now, right? Yeah. Like, I don't know. I'm going to give them a whirl. I'm interested in... this generation, as long as they provide fun games. Excuse me, wow, how embarrassing. Some good RPGs. I'm sold, man.
Yeah.
Let's fucking do it. You know? More games like Persona 5, though. I feel like that game is
I can never get into them.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
The music is playing in my head right now because Delilah played it. Or that other one where
you know,
the other one with Mo from The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you're chilling with your fly girl and something comes up and he starts dancing to the song.
You know, every time I think of Moe's, I think of one of the episode Uncle Moe's, when he changed it into
Delilah will tell you, I watch that all the time. Here I am, while you eat! And it's on his fucking head. The fries are on his head. I love The Simpsons, man. I love The Simpsons. That's another game to play. Another good co-op game.
Good arcade, like Simpsons arcade game. Yeah, that's a banger and a half.
But I think the only other place to play that on is like, I think it's. I don't even know.
Was that NES or was that SNES? I could have sworn there was a Simpsons game on SNES, wasn't there?
I know Bart's Nightmare, I think, came out on the Super Nintendo. I don't think the arcade game did. The arcade game was strictly on the arcade, I believe, and then later released on Xbox 360 arcade. So I think that might be the only way to still play that. So if I wanted to play it, I'd have to look for it on the store and buy it and play it. I think it would be playable on Xbox One. But I'm not too sure. But that would be a fun one to play.
That's a fun one, dude.
I do have it on...
Marge with the vacuum cleaner. And,
yeah.
What is it? What does Homer have? I don't know what his weapon was, but...
I can't remember.
Bart with the skateboard.
Yeah. Lisa had something weird, too.
Probably a book or something nerdy like that.
Dumb.
But...
Or some, yeah, and I remember the whole plot of it was, like... Somebody took Maggie, like...
Yes.
They bumped into somebody and a diamond went flying in the air, and the guy that had taken Maggie looked like Smithers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I ever reached the end of the game. I remember the very beginning and a few of the levels, like the carnival or whatever. But yeah, that would be a fun game to play too. Oh!
Because I hate those mother fluffers, dude.
When I play the single player, I don't remember there being this many. So
they're probably up.
They're
probably up for 2 players.
Yeah.
It looks like they're giving us infinite continues here because my ass has died.
Yeah, I don't know about like the. Yeah, you can grab that. Oh.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about like reaching an end, meaning running out of lives. I don't know how many continues. Where I think you could actually set it from the main menu. It might be 3 continues by default, and there's times where I've changed it to 5. Again, in that same options menu where you can change the color. Somewhere in there.
Fuck! I was away from that guy.
Alright, when he get low, he moves. Ah, that bastard. Good.
Take that, you little bitch.
And also, we've never played a video game together, me and you. So this is
You're
our
right.
first
This is the
time
first one
playing a game together.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Despite living downstairs and whatever. And
we've gone to wrestling events together. We watch wrestling together every week.
Pretty much every Wednesday if we can. And then we never put time aside to play games.
We should,
and
stuff. Because yeah, we fucking should. You know what I mean?
Don't die.
There we go.
Get him. Wax him. Jesus. Yeah.
There we go.
Hell yeah. Good shit. And look, now we're at the same amount of kills. Oh, well, it was. I don't know how mine went to 71. It was just at 69. 69, dude!
So I'm gonna cruise the entire time, bro. Nice.
You're not gonna do any more kills just to keep 69. Nice.
Okay, so this is 2020. This
is
how New York City's supposed to look.
Oh shit!
So just
I remember people posting that on New Year's. I was like, oh, that's so sad.
Neon Night Riders. I mean, this is New York City, right? I mean, it has to be.
Oh my god!
It does not look like this. Where's all the traffic? I mean, the Van Wyck. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I'm hoverboarding here.
You know, Hutchinson River Parkway over here. Pretty smooth, man.
It will never be this smooth
ever.
That's pretty funny, man. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, it's something. I mean, it's something I watch Seinfeld. I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. Frasier as well.
I would only watch Seinfeld because back in the day it would come on either before or after The Simpsons. So I would just say, whatever, I'll leave it on while I do homework or whatever.
But before moving on to New York City, they're like, there's no other way to reference to traffic. No other way in New York. Everyone goes all the way all the time. And, this is like, well, maybe in 2020 it'll look like this. And no, it's
that was something they said.
Yeah, that's what they said. Like, there's no other way in New York. Everybody goes every way all the time. What are these question marks? Why?
I don't know. It's just like in the pizza level, the question mark pizza boxes. I think it's just bonus points or whatever at the end of the level. What are these sounds? I don't know these sounds you're making.
I'm just doing like Jamaican, dance hall sounds. I don't know. Because they're shooting guns. I don't know. It seems relevant. I don't know.
Is that what they do?
We can edit that out in post.
Not editing any of this. Foot Soldier, did it say
bonus
help?
pizza?
There you go, bonus points. Points scored. Yeah, I don't know about those questions. I think the question marks are bonus points.
So it's good to know that this game also... I'm not going to make that joke. Screw it. I'm not making that joke, dude.
Good.
I am not making
Self-control is important because I don't want to edit any of this stuff.
Yes, I'm not. I'll tell you that off camera.
Oh, yeah, then people are going to ask, what was the joke? What was it?
I'm going to swear into secrecy.
Yeah, an NDA. We're going to sign NDAs now.
here.
You're making me invoke an NDA clause. That's great. I keep thinking I'm Donnie. My God, man. I'm so used to being him.
I can switch if you want.
No, that's all good. I'm mad far away. I'm in the middle of the level playing. I'm like totally little brother player 2 over here. I'm facing the wrong way. It's amazing. What was that metal claw? Remember that the Japanese wrestler who retired and he had that metal claw and he gave it to Taichi?
I don't.
He does that move like that's what Krang does.
What is Krang's bodysuit called? Was there a name for it? I don't remember.
I really don't know. I don't remember either. I don't know if there ever was a name or it was just Krang's
suit, yeah,
host or whatever. I don't know.
He's a little like Andre the Giant almost, right? Like very big.
Just needs the black leotard thing going on. Alright, 2020. Disappointed. It doesn't look like that.
What was that?
That was Bruce.
Oh. Brucey! What do we got here now? Where no turtle has gone before.
It's another segue right there.
I am also a huge Star Trek fan.
Thank you, turtles! You know?
Oh, man.
That's funny. Yeah, I watched a lot of the TNG.
I'll be very disappointed if in 20... I'm not going to be alive then.
Look, 2100? Yeah, there you go.
If I somehow find a way to be alive in 2100, it doesn't look like this, dude, I'll be very mad as well.
I'm guessing this might be Mars or something? I don't know.
This is probably Mars. However,
star
what's
base.
That red thing in the background there? Is that like another Mars?
Yeah, it's Mars 2.
Mars 2. The Deuce.
The Deuce.
Part 2.
I don't know, because it's got Starbase, and Mars isn't a star. I don't know if it would be on there. I think Starbase...
Maybe that's Mars' moon. Sharon, I think it's pronounced?
Charon. Yeah,
Karen?
Something like Karen.
Karen.
That's Mars' moon's name. Karen. Such a Karen.
What is that in the distance now? Is that like a little base too? Like
yeah, probably like another little orb
like in
where they can look at
Total Recall.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
3 titties.
Yeah. See you at the potty, Victor.
Pull that red thing out of your nose. God.
And his freaking head splits open. What a wild movie, man. I love practical effects in movies, and I miss them so much.
I love that movie. I
haven't
watched it in ages, but like when his suit breaks out in the Martian,
his
eyes are just like,
dude. That's what I'm saying, man. Those practical effects, like all that shit. Let's say they remake it, because everything gets remade. It would not
they
be
did remake
practical
Total Recall
effects.
with Colin
Farrell.
Colin Farrell was it Colin Farrell? Yeah,
or Colin something.
Colin Kaepernick. No, Farrell.
Yeah, the football player.
He pulls the red thing out of his nose.
Yeah.
I always liked that scene for some reason, even though it looks very uncomfortable. I've always wanted to secretly pull something out of my nose like that for some reason, even though it looked very painful.
I wish that more movies would do practical effects like back then.
Yeah,
and prosthetics and shit.
Sharon Stone looks amazing in that movie. What can I say?
I don't remember much of Sharon Stone. I remember all the points we're talking about
in that movie,
and then I tend to think of other. Oh, Game
Over! Wow, I'm sorry, dude. You're on your own.
Christ!
Goddamn!
Other.
I ate up all our continues.
I think of other Arnold movies and stupid one-liners like everybody chill and it's not a tumor.
Chill.
And what was the other one?
Mr. Freeze at a very
when the pipe goes through the guy's chest and he's like, blow off some steam, Bennett, or some shit like that, remember?
Cooled off.
Yeah, right, something like that. What happened to Bennett? He's blowing off steam or some shit like that. That's fucking great. Man.
There's nothing.
Oh my god!
Yeah, dude,
Death by balls. Jesus Christ! What is this?
You're being teabagged.
Oh my god! TMNT bagged.
TMNT. Oh
Shit.
Lord. Did I let you down here, man?
No, it's all right. It's probably a wrap when I die after this.
I made up all our continues, so yeah.
Yeah. Unless it's individual continues. I don't know.
Well,
if
yeah,
I
it
reach
could be.
200, I get another life. So I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna try to bring it on home.
You got this. I believe in you.
84.
16 more enemies. That's all you need.
Oh Christ! I thought I was gonna be able to. Nope, that's not it. That's it.
And
and
that's all she wrote.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we tried to make it to the end. We couldn't.
Sorry, I sucked. Everybody watching this. Hopefully, it'll be better next time.
Yeah, there's definitely more to come. Stay tuned. Peace.